on them.
She's recording already.
Yeah, she should be. And shit.
Okay.
Cool. And you record everybody.
Hi.
Okay. Good afternoon, people. Heart disease is the #1 killer of African Americans. I'm Euris, by the way. Let's start with a startling fact. Every 33 seconds, someone in America dies from cardiovascular disease. But what's even more alarming is that for African Americans, the silent killer strikes earlier, more aggressively, and more often than any other group of people in this country. Now, I know this isn't an easy topic. Talking about sickness and death rarely is, but it's necessary. Because the reality is, African Americans are dying from something that is very preventable. And we deserve to know the facts. By the end of this talk, you'll understand 3 things: why heart disease is killing so many African Americans, what the risks are that we face, and how we can fight back and save lives, maybe even your own. I'm not a doctor, but I do work in healthcare. As a dialysis technician, I see what chronic illness does to black bodies every day. It's kind of the reason why people come to see me, because I've just done so much damage that they need me in order to survive. I've done a whole lot of research on this. I'm doing this speech with sources from the CDC, the American Heart Association, and peer-reviewed research from the Circulation Journal. But more importantly, I'm a black man, and this is personal. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention of May 2nd, 2017, African Americans between the age of 18 and 49 are twice as likely to die from heart disease than that of white people. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, heart disease is the #1 killer of African Americans, more than cancer, accidents, and even homicide. The American Heart Association reports that nearly half of black Americans, 48% of women, and 44% of men have some form of cardiovascular disease. Black adults are twice as likely as white adults to have their first stroke or heart attack early in life. And when it hits us, more than likely it's fatal. Why is that? There is no one reason. It's a combination of history, biology, access, and lifestyle. One of the biggest culprits is high blood pressure, also called hypertension. Doctors call it a silent killer because we have it and you'll feel fine until one day you won't. You'll just drop down and have a heart attack or a stroke. And depending on the severity, you'll just die. 1 minute you feel fine, an hour later you're dead. Nearly 58% of African Americans have high blood pressure, and that's one of the highest rates in the world. It often starts early in life, runs in families, and when it's left untreated, it damages the heart, kidneys, and brain. Add to that a poor diet, limited access to healthy food, high levels of stress, and systemic racism in healthcare, and you start to see why our community is so vulnerable. On top of that, there is a historical mistrust of doctors, often for good reason. From the Tuskegee Air experiment to ongoing disparities in treatment today, many black folks avoid care until it's too late. The Tuskegee Air experiment was A group of doctors treated these men who had syphilis, sexually transmitted disease, but instead of actually treating them, they gave them pills that did nothing and watched for what the effects of syphilis did to their brains and bodies. You know, just basically watched them die and took notes while telling them, oh, it's going to be fine, you're all right, we're doing the best that we can. Big deal. According to the American Heart Association of January 10th, 2024, last year, high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes are common conditions leading to heart disease. Prevention and awareness. Well, we have some good news. Heart disease is largely preventable. The power lies in our hands. Organizations like the American Heart Association run community programs like Check, Change, and Control, which helps people track their blood pressure and build healthier habits. Small lifestyle changes can make a big difference. Exercise for 30 minutes a day, cut back on salt and sugar, avoid processed foods, quit smoking, and more importantly, get a checkup every year. I get that we're stressed and busy, but you have to take care of yourself. If you don't, then more than likely you won't be here for your loved ones. It's real hard out here, man. But you have to put you first. You can't help anybody if you're like going through it yourself or you're dead. According to Mercedes R. Cantham, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, of the Cardiovascular Health in African American Statement Group of October 23rd, 2017. One of the best ways to spread awareness and build trust in the African American community is to give jobs to African Americans in healthcare. And they'll be the advocates for educating people that look like us on what to do, what not to do, who to trust, who not to trust, and what's important. Heart disease is the #1 killer of African Americans. It's not just a statistic, it's a warning. It's also a blessing in disguise. We can prevent this, we can fight this, and we can win. With proper education, early precaution, and community awareness, we can get the word out and save some lives. So my advice to you, learn your numbers. Get ahead of this while you can. Talk to your family, talk to your doctor, make better choices. We don't have to keep losing our loved ones to something that is so preventable. That